it was the right decision to do.
I was at that Irish game, and I've been to many since, and I have never experienced an atmosphere like that day. It was just insane, but it was just so upsetting.
Of
It
all
was
the
an
times
amazing game.
of all the times I've refereed in Ireland, that is the best atmosphere that I've ever. One of the best atmospheres I've ever been in any stadium in the world over all the 32 years that I've refereed. The other one that comes really close to that in Ireland would have been Munster against Wasps in the last pool match deciding game back in 2008 when they needed to beat Wasps. And obviously they went on then to win the European Cup, which I refereed the final that year as well in the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. And I remember sending Lawrence Dallaglio off, yellow card him, beginning of the second half, down to the far end of Thorman Park. It was a drizzly day, 28,000 packed in there, all singing Fields of Athen Rye. And I sent Dallaglio off for a professional foul, killing the ball in his own 22. And as he's trudging off the field, the whole of the stadium just erupts in absolute cheer and applause and booing Dallaglio. And the atmosphere that day was, it was something special. But yeah, you're right, that day in the Viva Stadium, that was something special. It certainly was.
Yeah, the Irish fans can be special. I think it was that day, we're just so happy to, get to see the All Blacks play. And then it was, okay, like then there was this, all of a sudden there was this belief, it's like we could actually do it. And it was just, oh my God, like it really was an amazing game.
And for 60 minutes, Ireland were brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant for 60 minutes. And then New Zealand clawed their way back. One of the other atmospheres was up in Edinburgh, is the Calcutta Cup. The only Calcutta Cup I've ever refereed, only refereed one Calcutta Cup. 2016 or 17, I think it was, wasn't it, Ryan? When you beat England up in Murrayfield, I think it was probably 2017, maybe or 2018. The atmosphere that day, and they started singing the anthem. Then again, Offload of Scotland, sort of the last couple of minutes of the game as well, when I think Scotland were in the lead by about 2 scores that day, and the atmosphere. So when people ask what stadium has the best atmosphere, it's a lot to do with the actual occasion and the game itself that day. What's on it, who's playing. That is a lot. So it's not really the stadium that makes the atmosphere. It's actually the people in it and the occasion that contributes to that day. And obviously you have stadiums like the Millennium Stadium, if they're much closer and on the field than our Principality Stadium, that obviously adds to it as well.
Absolutely. Oh, it just makes you miss being in the stadiums now, doesn't it? It makes you miss the fans. Well, Nigel, we'll move on. So last weekend, we saw Luke Pearce warn the Irish not to try and buy penalties. So who is the best player that you've refereed who is just brilliant at winning penalties due to their acting abilities?
Alan Quinlan, without a shadow of a doubt. When I was reffing Quinny, you not only have to watch the other players on the field and what was going on, you have to keep an eye on him all the time. He was always in the middle of things. He had that brilliant knack of sort of doing the little things, just in the corner of your eye, just enough for you to think, what's he done there now? And he just can't see it. And he was one of the great characters of the game as well. And it was always a pleasure to referee him. I remember I actually refereed the Leinster-Munster game in Cork Park in 2009 in the semi-final of the European Cup. Oh, what a game! What an atmosphere! Cork Park was packed out, and Munster were the big guns. They were the favourites, and then that was Leinster's turning point. They beat Munster that day. They were the underdogs, and of course it was the year of the Lions, and obviously Quinny was picked to go to the Lions, and obviously. He got involved in a little bit of gouging on Leo Cullen in the game, which none of us saw. And Derek Bevan was my TMO, and TMO back then couldn't come in for foul play. So we go upstairs afterwards. It'd been a brilliant game of rugby, absolutely brilliant game of rugby. The atmosphere was electric. We've seen nothing like it. Go upstairs for a pint and something to eat afterwards. And Quidney comes over. There's just news had just broken now that there's going to be a sighting. There was a gouge. And the whispers were that it was Alan Quinlan. So Derek Bevan said to me, yeah, he's in trouble, he said. Derek Bevan said to me, he's in trouble because he'd heard of the sighting. And I said, well, did he gouge? I said, yeah, he did gouge. He said, I think he's going to be in trouble. So we sit there. So Quinny comes over. He said, there's talk of a sighting now, Nigel said. I said, well, I haven't seen anything. I said, but Eric tells me, yeah, that he has seen it. And Quinny said, yeah, but how will they know it's me? Eric Bevan went to him. Alan, he said, the guy that had his hands around the eyes had a pair of gloves on, and you were the only one wearing a pair of gloves that day. And Quinny went, oh, fuck. Which was a shame because, you know, he like, it's just one of those moments of madness, I guess. And, you know, he so deserved to go on the Lions that year. And it was a real shame. I really, really felt for him. I really did.
Oh,
he brings it on himself, though, like yourself, Ryan.
I got a bad rep, but I'm all right on the Nigel.
Not too bad in small doses.
There you go.
Well, Nigel, if you could play 10 minutes instead of the full 80, it would be very helpful.
Thank you, Nigel. Keep him coming.
Nigel, is he a good captain to deal with?
Yeah, you know, again, you know, speak as you find. And I think a sign of a good captain will not only be able to lead his team and have respect for his team, and, you know, won't ask his team to do something he wouldn't do himself. You know, puts himself really at the heart of things, which Ryan obviously does. But also as well, a good captain will also know his referees as well. So, you know, some referees where a captain can be a bit more verbal with and sort of, you know, put their opinion across at the referee. Then you'll also know, well, I got this referee today. I'm going to have to be careful how I speak to him when I speak to him. And, you know, so a good captain does that. And that's what I found with Ryan is that, you know, he had the ability to do that. I've seen him sometimes when the referee's here and thinking to myself, well, if I was refereeing that game today, you wouldn't be saying that. And to be fair to him, he was very respectful, and he didn't do that when I was refereeing him. And so, yeah, he was a good captain to deal with. But, you know, he did what a captain is there to do, is to lead his team, and also then to challenge a referee and put his point across if he thinks, you know, that there's something that needs to be addressed.
You happy with that, Ryan?
Yeah. I'm going to have him again soon at some point. So, now we always get on nice. Like I've always said it, like one of the refs I love being ref by, because this is something I've spoken about a lot recently as well. And here is just being able to talk to you. Honestly, my biggest pet hate is when the referee gives it, don't talk to me, and puts their hand in the face. And honestly, it drives me insane. And it just makes the players get more angry at the ref and want to, you know, argue with them more. But Nigel, you've always got an explanation, like the 30 and 40 mile an hour bloody speeding one. He's always got something there that he'll explain to us. And you're like, yeah, okay, now I understand it. So you've been good, Nigel.